Well, one of the things that most of us dream about throughout the winter is a wonderful vine-ripe fresh tomato. And today we've got a treat because we're in Hennessy at Taggart's Garden Center, and we're visiting with Eddie Taggart, who is the manager here, and he's going to tell us about how you can get vine-ripe tomatoes all winter long. And Eddie, thanks for letting us come and visit today.
Anytime.
Now, you actually grow tomato vines in your greenhouse during the winter months here, don't you?
Yes, we use about 1/4 of our greenhouse space here at the Garden Center on the highway to grow the greenhouse tomatoes. We mainly do it to build foot traffic in the store, kind of through a customer lean period. For us, it's about Thanksgiving to Valentine's Day, and it's also the time in which most people are looking for a good vine-ripe tomato.
Oh, yeah.
Basically, we use 2 plants per pot system. We start with 2 plants, which are a variety called Trust. There's a special hybrid greenhouse tomato. Very expensive seed, but fortunately I only need just a few hundred plants, about 600 here in the greenhouse.
Okay.
At the very bottom, you'll notice we use a piece of builder's grade styrofoam, basically for protection in case myself, which I'm most clumsy, or one of my employees drops a tomato plant, it doesn't end up on the gravel with bad spots on it. It helps isolate the plant, keep it a little warmer too, the root zone.
Now in the pot, you've basically just got a soilless potting mix?
I've got a soilless potting mix. So I don't know where technically you draw the line between hydroponics. We kind of, it's a soilless mix, so we kind of say it's a hydroponic tomato. Following up the plant, you'll see that we use a common string, which is usually baler twine, and then we use these clips, which as the plant grows, we clip around the string and then snap it onto the plant.
Okay.
And usually at that point, when this was put on, there was a tomato leaf there, and as we migrate up, we use several of the clips. We find the clips to be the easiest for the workers, for the girls that work for me, to handle. There's many different methods in which a lot of people will, in the greenhouse trade, fasten the tomato plant to the string. I've seen some that's actually, as the plant grows, they wrap the plant around the string, which is nice. There's another tool which is called a banding gun, which is really neat. Stapler that reaches out, grabs a piece of ribbon, and as you put it around the plant, it cuts, staples, and then you're able to do it again.
Oh, that's pretty handy there.
And you can go pretty quick. We try to reuse the black clips. These have been in the family for half a dozen years. Something like this is going to be just used and discarded along with the string and the plant somewhere after Valentine's Day for us.
Okay.
At that point, we'll come in, we'll pull the plants down. All the tables that fit in this greenhouse will come back out, and we'll continue to grow bedding plants through the spring and in the fall. Okay. Pollination on these, usually done by hand here in the retail facility. If I didn't have the public in here, I would personally like to try the bumblebee hive.
Right.
The hand pollination uses a small tool, which is a small vibrator, which just touch the fruit truss. You vibrate the fruit truss, and as you go down through here, it shakes the pollen from the top of the bloom down into the bottom of the bloom. And usually this is done in the midday when the humidity is optimum for that. If the humidity is very high, the pollen is not dry, and the pollen will not fall or cascade down.
And that's important to do in a greenhouse situation, whereas if the tomatoes are grown outside, that happens naturally through wind and insects and things like that.
Wind and insects, mainly. So. A lot of people, I've heard of many different mechanical ways. This is just being one of which to vibrate the plant. Inside, the biggest problem we'll usually have is insects. And I'm very aware that I don't want to spray the plants with any type of insecticide that's going to be harmful to the plant and the people that consume those, because once we get red fruit on there, we'll be picking and harvesting on a daily basis. Right. And we try to use an integrated pest management system to where we're not just consistently spraying for the sake of spraying.
Right, that's good. Now, you showed some supports for the actual vines, but you also have to support the fruits. Those fruits can get pretty heavy when they start setting.
Small fruit supports. It's called a fruit truss. It's a little J-hook, little piece of plastic. We really don't like to discard those, but sometimes when we're in a hurry to get them out of the greenhouse, we'll end up discarding those. But on something like this, we'll hook it onto that fruit truss, and we'll reach over and snap it onto that string, and it'll help support that fruit as the fruit gets larger, because in the greenhouse, this fruit truss right here will stretch when the temperatures get real hot in here.
That's kind of interesting. Now, do you have any other unusual tools that you end up using?
Yeah, one of the things that I have the luxury of with my greenhouse is that I have a very high ceiling. And most greenhouses that grow greenhouse tomatoes their main support might be at a 6 or 7 foot level. Mine's at almost a little over 8. And instead of constantly dragging ladders and different types of equipment down through here, I've incorporated a set of drywall stilts.
Okay.
I will not put those on right now, but it does help bring me up to the level to which when I work through here, that bar is mainly at about this height. At that height, as you can see, as the plants grow, and with all this extra string that's here, this plant will be reclipped and lowered, and this whole wall of tomato plants that you will see will actually be lowered and worked in a circular fashion. Probably when we pull the plants out, the plant standing in this position, its stem may lay along the floor and end up back in the pot 5 or 6 feet away from it.
Okay.
We use a special pair of curved scissors to actually cut the fruit. And if I can find a red one here, when we go to harvest the tomato, we'll sneak down inside this area here, and we'll actually cut this stem as close as we can to the fruit. That way that when this is put in a box or in a sack, the stem does not poke a hole in the bottom of the next ripe fruit. And leaving this green part on the tomato will actually let it stay fresher longer.
Okay.
And the shelf life on a good tomato that we've seen here has been well over a month. So I have people that are a little apprehensive about purchasing those because they won't be able to eat them
right away.
But they'll last for quite a while.
Key to that is to leave them on the shelf and not put them in the refrigerator.
Do not refrigerate a good vine-ripe tomato.
Okay. Well, this is a really neat operation here, and if people want to get tomatoes from you, they can just drop by.
Drop by the store Monday through Saturday from 9 to 6, and then from Sunday from 1 to 5.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Eddie. This has been interesting, and
anytime.
I'm looking forward to some tomatoes.
There you go.
We hope you enjoyed this video. It's part of our OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. You can also find more recent videos on our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.